What's even the point of the people that say police were letting them in? If we assume that's true, why were they going into the building if not to... No. The reason why so that point exists because Tucker Carlson, whether it's because he has no loyalty to the country and Constitution, wants to destroy the United States of America, or if he was being paid by a foreign actor who wants to destroy the United States of America, decided that he was going to work with another treasonous anti-American individual, I believe it was Jim Jordan, to take a whole bunch of footage directly from the Capitol building, and then he spliced together a special edit that made it look like the entirety. I've never actually watched this video in its entirety. What? Does anybody have a link to the entire Tucker Carlson J6 video? I've seen like clips of it. Where is the full 351? Is this it? Is this how short it was?
All right, a bit of a fact check this morning after...
No, I don't want to watch somebody else's. I want to see, what was the video that Tucker Carlson showed? Was it this?
Good evening and welcome to Tucker Carlson Tonight. One of the hallmarks of people who are telling the truth, in case you were wondering how to tell the difference, is that people who are telling the truth are calm. They don't wave their hands around and make wild accusations. They don't need to do that.
Is this there was an episode that he did where he took a ton of footage that he got from a member of Congress. I think it was, I want to say it was Jim Jordan, but I might make that up. Tucker Carlson, J6 footage, March 8th, 2023. When did this come out? March 9th, 2023. Okay, so this is the episode, I think. Oh, it was McCarthy. It was Kevin McCarthy from the House. By the way, they said they were going to release all 40,000 hours of this footage. Where is it? McCarthy's office said that it is still working out the process to make the footage more widely available, but did not comment further. We've seen none of it, by the way. None of it. None of that, except for what Tucker edited together for us.
It's enough to say what they know. And if honest people turn out to be wrong about something they have claimed, they'll admit it. They don't double down on false. They made a mistake, and that's okay. It's not like they're claiming to be God. Liars behave differently. Liars are touchy, sometimes to the point of hysteria. They're hiding something. That's the whole point of lying. And they're worried you're going to find out what it is. Liars are fragile because over time, liars, they didn't apologize. They weren't even curious to learn more about what actually happened on January 6th. Let's see the tape. No, they didn't want to see it. They exploded in rage. And then, as liars tend to do, they doubled down. They told the same lies they've been caught telling, but with even greater aggression this time. Shut up, it's midnight, they said as the sun rose behind them. Who acts like that? Well, sociopaths do. And in this case, the sociopaths turned out to be both Democrats and Republicans. The commitment to lying in Washington is far deeper and more bipartisan, even than we realize. We follow this stuff for a living. Now, you sometimes hear people say that the whole partisan system is an illusion, and that underneath the manufactured debates, the leaders on both sides are in fact secretly united in a common love of money and power, and the deception required to get them. And honestly, we can never really bring ourselves to believe that. It's just too dark.
The funny thing is that like if these people weren't retarded, it would be like, imagine you have two countries. Imagine you have two countries, okay? Like the problem is if you think about it, and if you were writing not fan fiction, if you were writing like good fiction, if you wanted to have like a compelling movie, and you were just trying to jerk off the elites or people, what would real conspiracies look like for people that were like in charge of a country? It would probably be rigging and fucking over other countries. That's probably what you would do. Why would you destroy your own country? How retarded would you have to be? Wouldn't it be more like this would be a more believable conspiracy among evil bureaucrats in a country is, wow, notice how Toyota and Honda cars all seem to explode randomly, and then you find out, oh shit, people at the EPA were putting explosive devices in the engine to blow them up so that American cars would start outselling foreign cars. That makes sense. Oh, you're corrupt and rigged bureaucrats, and you want to destroy foreign competition because you know that like that. Why would you destroy your own country? Why would you destroy your own country unless you're working with like a foreign enemy? Like that. It doesn't even make sense. Imagine you've got two countries and you've got corrupt leaders in both countries. Which country is going to do better? The corrupt leaders that try to destroy their own country or the corrupt leaders that just fuck over the other country? It doesn't even make sense. Why would you do this?
But now we do believe it because we have seen it. Consider the death of police officer Brian Sicknick. Now we still don't know exactly and move on, but they won't. In fact, this week the White House trotted out both the press
officers their lives. It was a violent attack on a fundamental tenet of American democracy, that power is peacefully transferred from one administration to another. Over 100 officers were assaulted on that day. 5 officers died.
5 officers died on that day. I don't want any detail. Or assaulted, that is true. This is an event we all remember. Antifa descended on Washington, D.C. to force the sitting president from office. But it was Trump, so that's cool. And while they were there, they set a historic Christian church on fire, St. John's in Lafayette Square. Do you remember that? You should, because it happened Labor Day weekend less than 3 years ago. And when it happened, the left-wing mayor of Washington, D.C. refused to allow her police department, the MPD, to assist Secret Service agents while they were under siege and getting beaten. No, she made her cops stand back and watch it happen. They were very upset about it at the time. They've forgotten that. Here's what it looked like.
I believe there are several fires raging now down this street, and this is what you hate to see. There are people throwing fireworks, and who knows what else. It's just...
The toll there. Now, we're not going to guess. We're going to go again right to the government. According to a recently released GAO report last month, during those attacks, the 2020 attack on the White House by left-wing mobs, we're quoting, Federal Protective Services, the Secret Service, and the Park Police reported at least 180 officers were injured during the demonstrations, including concussions, lacerations, exposure to chemical gas, and severe burning. So while stipulating that all riots are bad, because precision matters, facts matter, the truth matters, here's the truth. More cops were injured by Kamala Harris's favorite mob, BLM, at the White House than were injured by Trump voters at the Capitol on January 6th. A lot more. So again, to be clear, both events are bad, but here's the key. We only remember one of them. Why? Because the people in charge of history are liars. And your grasp on reality itself. And that's why they try to make you lie. They control you. They make you less of a person.
Control you and lie. Okay, tell me the truth then.
Also hurt individuals. We told you Monday about Navy veteran Jacob Chansley. He was tried by the media, convicted of being a domestic terrorist, and sentenced to 4 years in prison. What exactly was Jacob Chansley's crime?
Tell me what they really
very
did.
Precise about that. Here's what the media told you it was.
In his horned helmet, fur pelts, and face paint, Jacob Chansley became known as the QAnon shaman. But prosecutors called him the most prominent symbol of a violent insurrection.
He's been in jail since January, and he's trying to get out. The prosecutors say he is still too dangerous to release.
Make no mistake, Chansley is a stone cold thug.
He kept saying, I'm not violent, I'm peaceful, I'm a shaman. But then you put those images, what you were just talking about, you put those images together, and that isn't an image of peace. This is the new face of extremism.
It's the new face of extremism. Jacob Chansley is the new face of extremism. He's a stone cold thug. Prosecutors say he is too dangerous to release. And most people believe that because why wouldn't they? They were told it and there was no evidence to the contrary. And now there is evidence to the contrary. We brought it to you Monday. The video that we reviewed at great length over 3 weeks showed with precision what Jacob Chansley actually did inside the Capitol. And here's what it looks like once again. Here's video of Chansley in the Senate chamber. Capitol police officers take him to multiple entrances and even try to open locked doors for him. We counted at least 9 officers who were within touching distance of unarmed Jacob Chansley. Not one of them even tried to slow him down. Chansley understood that Capitol Police were his allies. Video shows him giving thanks for them in a prayer on the floor of the Senate. Watch.
Thank you, Heavenly Father, for giving the inspiration needed to these police officers to allow us to building.
Contrast the reality of what Jacob Chansley did in the Capitol building on January 6th, the indisputable facts recorded on video, some of which has never before been seen, with the depiction of Jacob Chansley that you've seen in the media for more than 2 years. He's a terrorist, they said. He should be killed.
Shoot him. Shoot him. Like, if you burst into the United States, if he was...
What was that taken? So as the riot was going on, some of the cops started to kind of move people into an easier to contain chamber, because it is true that a lot of people went in like, we're just there to like protest or whatever. They didn't know what the fuck was going on, and police kind of like led them to basically different areas. And there were like 20 or 30 people that kind of got led into the Senate chambers. But this is after the whole building was already fucked. This is after the situation was already compromised. And the people that are trying to make it sound like that like the cops let them in and allowed them to go through or whatever. This is after they'd already broken in. The most famous example of this was black cop leads protester Jan 6 upstairs. This is probably one of the more famous examples, is where so as he's going upstairs, right, this is like they're leading them through the building. Initially he wants to go to the right here and he wants to lead them through a door, but then he realizes okay, so he's looking to his left. He's about to, wait, it might not be here. It might be up the next set of stairs. So I don't know if there are lawmakers down here, but he thinks about going this way. And then he goes a different way, and then he like pushes him, and then they're just like taking them to areas that are more easily defensible, right? By the way, if you watch like riot police do stuff like this, because look where they end up going, right? To where more cops are. If you watch riot police, they also do stuff like this. You lead people around into easier to defend areas or whatever. But this notion that on January 6th, it was all just people being led through.
Shoot him, shoot him. It makes you wonder, who are the violent extremists here? So as you saw, and again, details matter because this is a man. This is an American citizen, a Navy veteran. This is a human being. And so what he actually did should be of deep concern to every American because he's in jail tonight. What Jacob Chansley actually did was wander peacefully through the Capitol, shepherded by Capitol police officers who literally opened doors for him. When one was locked, they went to another. Dozens of officers stood and watched him. All of them had guns. Jacob Chansley did not. They never told Jacob Chansley to get out. The head of the Capitol Police today said he was trying to calm the situation. It was already calm. He was the only protester in the frame.
It was already calm?
They could have let him outside. They didn't. They helped him. We're not going to speculate as to why. We don't know why. All we know is what we see on the tape, and no one disputes it. We didn't cherry pick it. We didn't make it up. Once inside the Senate chamber, as we told you, Chansley said a prayer thanking God for the kindness of Capitol Hill Police. And good for him, they were kind. This was not a domestic terrorist. And that matters. But what matters even more is the video that we showed you after 26 months were not shown to Jacob Chansley's attorneys. That's a violation of the Constitution. And he's in jail because of it. Because the liars on the January 6th committee and the prosecutors who did their bidding. And that means Benny Thompson, and that means Adam Schiff, it means Liz Cheney. These people have this man's life on their hands.
I don't know what that means. I don't know if Tucker Carlson is ignorant of the legal system or if there was a special way that these trials were conducted. But prosecutor on the committee, the J6 committee is not a legal, that's not a legal proceeding. That's not happening in a court. That's not a judicial matter. If he was in court and information or whatever wasn't turned over or made available to him, that has to do with whatever federal court he was charged in and whatever prosecutor was going after him there. And that's between that. The J6 committee, I'm not aware of, unless there's some really super rare or special connection here between this federal court proceeding and what was going on in the J6. I don't know I have no idea what the connection would be between these two things. I have absolutely no idea what the connection would be here.
Who did their bidding. And that means Benny Thompson, and that means Adam Schiff, it means Liz Cheney. These people have this man's life on their hands.
There are lawmakers literally right there.
In this security footage, you can see Officer Goodman running to respond to the initial breach. Officer Goodman passes Senator Mitt Romney and directs him to turn around.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, I haven't even seen this. Oh, Jesus.
Running to respond to the initial breach.
Hey, other way, dude.
Officer Goodman passes
Or maybe I saw this, I forgot. I don't know.
Senator Mitt Romney and directs him to turn around in order to get to safety. On the first floor, just beneath them, the mob had already started to search for the Senate chamber.
But anyway.
They helped withhold these videos from Jacob Chansley's attorneys. And that means the judge who sentenced Jacob Chansley, Royce Lamberth, never saw them either. And therefore, Judge Lamberth was able to say that what Chansley did was, quote, horrific. He apparently had no idea that Chansley was wandering around with the cops, walking through doors they opened and saying prayers for them. We're quoting, you made yourself the center of the riot, said the judge. Really? He accused Chansley of, quote, obstructing the functioning of government. But that's not all what was happening. He was ambling through the Capitol, flanked at all times by armed cops who were directing his movement. Meanwhile, prosecutors of the DOJ, the real villains here, falsely, they lied in court, ambling through the Capitol, flanked at really. He accused Chansley of, quote, obstructing the functioning of government.
Listen to what he says here.
But that's not at all what was happening. He was ambling through the Capitol, flanked at all times by armed cops who were directing his movement.
Ambling through the Capitol, flanked at all times by cops who were directing his movement. I didn't actually follow this guy, or I don't remember. How did he first get in? What is he called, like bullhorn guy? What was his first time getting into the...
We start with struggle images. Federal arrests include Adam Waltz joining us.
Him he has Phoenix for bear charge for Angeli said at Newsy.
I didn't do anything wrong.
QAnon shaman enters Capitol. Is there video footage of him entering for the first time?
Tonight, new video has been released in the case against the...
On the back.
We won the day.
Tonight, Jacob Chansley, the so-called QAnon shaman who wore a headdress and face paint and carried a spear inside the Capitol, has been called out by U.S. District Judge Royce Lamberth. The court today releasing two videos, which the judge believes back his assertion in court papers that Chansley, quote, blatantly lied during an interview with 60 Minutes Plus. This is what Judge Lamberth believes was a lie.
Police were waving people into the building.
Judge Lamberth believes this video, showing rioters breaking windows, then panning over to a shot of Chansley walking through a door.
This is March 16th, 2021. Tucker Carlson's video footage, or Tucker Carlson's video, is March 9th, 2023. This is 2 years later, okay?
He was ambling through the Capitol. Really? We're quoting, you made yourself the center of the riot, said the judge. Really? He accused Chansley of, quote, obstructing the functioning of government. But that's not at all what was happening. He was ambling through the Capitol, flanked at all times by armed cops who were directing his movement.
Believes was a lie.
Police were waving people into the building.
Judge Lamberth believes this video, showing rioters breaking windows, then panning over to a shot of Chansley walking through a door, shows Chansley was lying when he claimed police waved him in.
And that shows you that this defendant, Jacob Chansley, has really angered this judge and has really compromised his own credibility in the mind of the judge.
Judge Lamberth had already accused Chansley and his attorney of doing that 60 Minutes Plus interview without the court's permission. Chansley's lawyer claimed they were not trying to be deceitful. Chansley has pleaded not guilty to 6 charges, including violent entry and disorderly conduct in the Capitol attack. Judge Lamberth recently ruled that Chansley is too dangerous to release and has to stay in jail pending his trial.
It's only a matter of time. Justice is coming.
One analyst says even though Chansley's not accused of violent behavior against others, his high profile as a symbol of the riot puts added pressure on prosecutors.
The prosecutors have to understand that the public is watching every move they make in this case, and so the notoriety of certain defendants is something they have to take into consideration, and they better make darn sure that they have charged these people appropriately and that they come away with convictions, including on Jacob Chansley.
This comes as the Washington Post.
And that they come away with convictions.
Like, bro, you're not even flying American flags. Like, this is fucking insane, right? What the fuck? What the actual fuck? Like, people will look at this and be like, 1776, Confederate flags and Trump flags. Well, I think they were probably just going there to make their voices heard. It's like, imagine being in a debate And it's like, it's not like they had flags that they were flying saying, I am an insurrectionist. As you fly literally a rebellion flag, a rebellious insurrectionist flag at the fucking, like, invasion. Like,
Meanwhile, prosecutors of the DOJ, the real villains here, falsely, they lied in court and said that Chansley was, quote, leading the charge into the Capitol on January 6th. They said he was, quote, the flag bearer for the mob. Apparently
he was one of the first people in, so...
A flag. He was alone. And of course, the media picked up on this and amplified it as the DOJ intended. Fortune magazine disgraced itself by comparing the man you just saw to ISIS. They said Chansley had, quote, the zeal to possibly kidnap or kill officials. These aren't just lies. These are lies that destroyed a man. So no matter who you voted for in the last election, you could probably agree that sending someone to prison for 4 years on the basis of fabricated evidence is the most serious threat to civil liberties we could possibly face. And yet here's the thing. Leaders in both parties, the party that Chansley voted against and the party he voted for, have said nothing, not one word about the implications of this videotape. The implications not just for Chansley, but for our Constitution and our country going forward. Instead, whoa, how...
What the fuck was this? Wait, what day is this? What is this even from? Bro, this is like actual clown world shit. Was this during, where, was this? Feds, all feds.
How dare you show this? What is clearly exculpatory evidence. And again, it's not just Chuck Schumer, it's Republican senators. Kevin Cramer, Mike Rounds, Chuck Grassley, John Thune, Lindsey Graham, of course, Congressman Dan Crenshaw, needless to say, Kelly Armstrong, all went after us. We're not whining about that. We don't care, actually. That just tells you everything. Tom Tillis and BLM superfan Mitt Romney, all weak men, and like all
This, in a way that
The police officers assaulted. I just don't think
lies, and they buried tape that contradicted and revealed these.
Carlson ran a lengthy segment.
How? To withhold evidence from Jacob Chansley's lawyer. How could that happen? Subscribe to the Fox News YouTube channel.
Okay, sorry.